Good morning. It is me, Angie. Welcome to Learn Love Tarot. How are you today? Hi, hi, hi. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me go ahead and get my microphone clicked back over correctly. How are you guys? Happy April. Have you guys ever heard of the a pinch and a punch for the first of the month saying? Was thinking of that as I woke up this morning. I'm like, it is April 1st. Happy Fool's Day to you. And also, happy birthday to my sister Ryan today. Happy birthday. I love you so much. So, I have quite a few notes here today. With today being the 4 of the month of the Emperor. So, even though we did start Aries season already, I feel like that's why we're seeing a lot of that Emperor energy. It's your sister's birthday also. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know her time. I'll have to look it up in my little database. But yeah, that's right, Jennifer. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, guys. So thank you. I will let her know. Well, for today's energy, so this is, let me know if this resonates for you already, or you can kind of feel this happening. We do have our 4 plus 1 plus our 2025 being a 9 energy. Adding those together is 14, which is the temperance energy, that puzzle piece that helps us find our own peace, those pieces of ourself, right? 14 years ago was 2011. So that is a 22 in effect, also coming out to the 4 of the Emperor. So let me know what was happening for you in 2011, if there were any sense of setting up a more stable environment with that 4 energy. And remember, when we have the 4 of the 4 corners of the foundation, the pillars, right? We can also, that is the first time that we can connect those dots to form a circle. So we can move into a square and a circle. On top of that, the 1 plus 4 is a 5 of the Hierophant energy, the peace be with you, the guru, the shaman, and the guide. Now, this morning, super early here for Eastern Standard Time at 4:38, we have Venus retrograde. This circle with the line means conjunct. It is conjunct with the North Node in Pisces. And we round up that 27 degrees, 21 minutes to the Sabian symbol of 28, which is a fertile garden under the full moon. This is all about fulfilling our desires. And so, as you can imagine, when Venus, even in retrograde, and the North Node of Destiny are in the dreamy energy of Pisces, that's why we see all the little hearts here. It's a good day for self love, about the things that we appreciate about ourselves, and also for really determining, it's the first of the month, right? New energy, determining what we want and how we love moving forward, where we can be more loving. Now, in addition to that, this afternoon at 1:42 p.m., the moon will go void, of course, in Taurus. And remember, that just means that it's kind of like the energy of a Mercury retrograde, where anything we send electronically, or if we're traveling between these two times, we might want to allow ourselves a little more travel time, simply because there can be delays. If you think of anything electronic that could go down, we think of, well, even the stoplights, right? Those timings could kind of go a little haywire. So just give yourself a little bit more time today. What I also found interesting, we've revisited this lesson before. As the moon goes void, of course, in Taurus, it is sextiling or synergizing with Mercury. our little do tune in Tokyo, right? Marvin the Martian, tune in Tokyo. Marvin the Martian, I always think about as that's how you can tell what the planet or the symbol for Mercury is, also in retrograde. And we have those guys sextiling or 30 degrees away, 2 Pisces hops over into the next symbol. That energy is synthesis, right? At 28, we have then fulfilling our desire here at this 28 symbol of Pisces, synthesizing with the 28 of Taurus, which is the symbol of a mature woman reawakened to romance. And that is all about the lesson of developing our maturity within one-to-one relationships. So maybe there's some kind of inner peace coming, some kind of settling, some kind of release of attachment. I've been seeing this, guys, as a theme. Kind of, I feel those in waves coming through. And it always happens that when I'm booking clients or when clients are booking with me, there's so much similarity because this is the wave that they are surfing that is showing up strongly in their own birth charts at that time. Now, in addition, we have at 426, the moon will stop going void of course and will enter Gemini. And that is, I just got the image of a little busy bee just kind of buzzing all over the place. And you may feel like you have a ton of tasks or chores to get done today. The Gemini has to do with our shoulders, arms, hands, lungs, any bronchial tube issues. And it's a lot of mental energy, right? Because the sign of Gemini, first of all, is air. So the sword, communication, thoughts, right? It feels like the day just kind of flies by, time flies. And it is great for socializing, thinking, reading, and communication with those in your must call list. And that is from my book, Moonology here, what it's good for and not so good for, not so great for being having a totally zen day because there's just too much to do, it feels like. There is a little bit of caution about over babbling, right? And as I wrote that down, I just got the song Sting, do, 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 da, da, da. And that was from the Police. And look at this. The album was Zen Yada Mon Dada. Funny coincidence, right? And then also I was tickled because, Sting, and I'd already drawn the little buzzy bee. So I thought that was funny. You've met me, you know my humor. And then I looked up the lyrics. I'm getting ear squeezy. Because I thought, well, there's always something connected, right? And part of the lyrics are poets, priests, and politicians have words to thank for their positions, words that scream for your submission, and no one's jamming their transmission. So I was like, ha, even the funniest, goofiest things that pop up for me always have relevancy in some way. Sometimes we don't even know until the end of the reading. But as far as poets, priests, and politicians, the peace be with you energy of the day that also coordinates there. So let me know how you are feeling today. I did also want to note that we are changing over in the planet Jupiter, clicking over to the next Sabian lesson of 17. And then yesterday I mentioned Pluto, the planet of transformation. I made a note at the bottom going, this is going to click over to that 333. So I wanted to have a look at that angel number today so that I did not forget. So let's check out. This is my very already worn angel numbers book by Mystic Michaela. Love, love, love it. And do be sure to check out Liz's morning pick a card because she always uses this angel number book to flavor the readings with, which I, of course, love. And here we go. So 333 is all about equilibrium. And you can see here, I use this book to kind of note when that synchronicity shows up for me. I'll date it and say, what happened with that 3 number. And this is about nurturing the mind, body, and spirit connection, getting some meditation going, embarking on a workout routine, and finally starting that vision board we've been procrastinating on. So, with the planet Pluto being sitting at these degrees, this can aid in our transformation, right? Certainly, it's funny that I mentioned Liz because she has an awesome way to do a vision board that includes the art of feng shui, of placement, of the where we put things in our home so energy can flow. Where you put them on the vision board, then, right, will help that energy flow and manifest. So, what your angels want you to look at are the areas of life that are not fully rounded out. I mentioned the 4 pillars of the square, and that is the first time we can also create a circle. So, no coincidence there. And then self correct those. Okay. So, very interesting there. Very, very interesting. We have, I talked about yesterday, this was in a personal reading, and it was wild how I've been talking about the 10 of Wands as we're setting that down. It is the Led Zeppelin 4 album of stability, and the inside of that album is the Hermit energy, and then the 10 of Wands on the front is setting down those burdens, keeping your eye on the prize. You've done all the heavy lifting, and it's part of transcendence, right? So whenever there's a bustle in our hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen, are part of those lyrics. And it's spring. So we may feel that energy of wanting to purge, wanting to do that with our house, wanting to create better energy flow in our home. In addition here, our Pluto energy is sitting at, with that 3 degrees 33 minutes, we round up to a 4, and we have a Hindu healer, understanding the necessary lessons that heal ourselves of distortion of our own light. We make our way back to our own light. Beautiful energy, if you ask me. Just as beautiful as all y'all, because you're amazing at the top here. So I really want us just mark on your calendar today. We're going to be moving into the energy of Gemini. So the last 2.5 days, we've been with the moon and Taurus. Just kind of make a few jots about your energy, how that made you feel, because then I want us paying attention for the next 2.5 days about how this moon energy plays out for you. I want us to get used to following this lunar roller coaster, okay? Instead of the traditional, right, path of tradition, 4 weeks of squares, energy, especially if you're feelers and empathic, you're going to feel it more like this than we do, straight down lines and boxes. So if this is week 1, halfway up the coaster, week 2, we get to the full moon. Week 3, we make our way down to the last quarter or third quarter moon, and then we make our way to the new moon again. So we just had that past weekend of the solar eclipse in Aries that gave us the big boom, right? The clapper board of finishing up the lesson of one-to-one relationships. Anything not in balance will be universal drainode and helped push out of our way for our best and highest good. So allow the things that are exiting to exit with grace and love, and thank them for their teaching. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, lesson. Okay. So this is the section that we're focused on now, this first week cycle after that solar eclipse. And by Saturday, we'll be at the Cancer energy of the moon following Gemini. And that will be Saturday, the 5th of our first quarter moon. So I want us to try to kind of feel the energy so we can let that empower us. We don't have to have a sense of anxiety about what's going on in the energy. We can start to learn to take the ride and feel it as that energy affects us. So I just want you to note how the past 2.5 days, we'll start there, and then how this next 2.5 days are feeling for you. Are we feeling extra chatty? Are we feeling a little extra busy bee energy there? Let me know. So, hello, good morning again. It's so funny. Yep. Happy April. Happy birthdays. Miss Jennifer, Peggy, thank you guys for being here. Hey, Jonna, thank you guys so much. Let's find out where we're going today, what Spirit wants us to know about the life path energy of the Hierophant and Temperance energy. Maybe we're finding a puzzle piece there that leads us a little bit further up to our stairway to heaven. That could be communicated with the moon in Gemini. And if you didn't already notice, I had a little old school, those of us who have remember talking on the phone that was attached to the wall and how far that cord stretched. So if you had a long, stretchy cord in your youth, let me know how many rooms or how long that cord got stretched, because I think that's hilarious, especially when you're trying to have some privacy, right? And I wrote yakety yak. So if anybody remembers yakety yak, don't talk back. I don't even remember what that was from. Yakety yak. I mean, I remember the song a little bit, but was that a show or just the song? We shall see. Let me know if that, well, right away, yakety yak. Here we go. Falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. This is the energy of the sun. Okay. Alchemizing lead into gold here. Archangel Michael helps us with the soulmate's journey with those one-to-one committed partnerships that show us the mirrors of our own psyche into the shadows. And we have the sun's energy here with the 19. And look at that. Very like iridescent or luminescent energy, right? The fallen angel is kind of not going up these steps on the path to spiritual enlightenment. It's trying to bypass the lessons. For example, stage 5 clinger, we've all heard the kids use that term. That might be a little bit older, but um, that's about not hanging on to the bumper of any energies that have exited or are wanting to exit, because we don't want to face the fear of the unknown, of even if it doesn't feel good, right? We don't want to have to kind of contend with that lesson. So let me go ahead and get us from the Shaman's Dream Oracle, where we're going today with this 19. That would then convert to the path of cycles. Anytime if your birth date happens to add up to a 19, that does still reduce to a 10 of the Wheel of Fortune and also the 1 of the Magician. However, instead of then that being the path of power for a life path 1, your life path 1, that is the path of cycles. So we have a third card entered into the mix. That'd be wild if, let me know, guys, if anybody has that type of birthday. If you're a life path 1 and it adds up to a 19 before reducing to a 10 and a 1, then that is that special path. I'm a life path 1, but my birth date adds up to 28. So it's not that cycles 1. Okay, let's check out this spiritual narcolepsy here. Falling unconscious, right? You're being cautioned now to not fall asleep or go unconscious. We've been flying above the strife and suffering of the world and angelic bliss. However, we risk being seduced by the beauty and comfort of a situation and losing track of our aspirations, our wings. As we fall, we pick up speed, heading towards the trees below and a possible nasty landing, remembering that all you need to do to stop being a falling angel is spread our wings to halt the descent and find our updraft again. Do not be seduced by the fallen angels, our supposed friends or companions who are ready to use us simply for their pleasure only and have their own interests in mind. As we soar once more in flight, receiving the gift of the falling angel is an invitation to study the forest above the trees. In other words, to analyze our situation from a higher perspective without being entangled in its thorny branches. Once we understand what needs to be done, we can head back to our lofty heights and stand by for the right moment. Action we take now may backfire, so stay conscious and wait until we are guided to change. We will know when the time is ripe. So we have Archangel Michael showing up in our life path energy today. Now, I don't know if you guys notice it or not, but whenever we change over into the next month, I feel that vibrational shift as far as the energy of numbers, because numbers hold a frequency. So yesterday, with it being the last day of the month, the 3 plus the 31 is a 4 and a 9. That would be a 16 energy of the tower and the chariot. So we're kind of backtracking. We went from a 7 and then we're rolling back to this 5 energy that we've already experienced this week. So it may even feel like a little bit of a rewind and then a movement forward, like a like a tiny little reverse of some kind of energy, maybe even signs or symbols we didn't notice the first time are showing themselves to us. So the path of cycles can be repetitive patterns, right? And we want to make sure that we are fully awake and we're continuing on our path. Now, with this cosmic womb of the divine feminine in the environmental energy, that is the 6th energy of the lovers. And let me grab my notes back because I was noticing that song with the do 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 da 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 police song. It was recorded in 1986, which is a 10 and 18 plus another 6 is a 24. 2 plus 4 is a 6. So it was a 6 year of the lovers of body, mind, and spirit balancing on each side of those Libra scales. Then, even though it was recorded then, it was released a whole ass cycle later. So we go through the life path numbers each year. We're in a life path 9, for example, right now. But when it was finally released wasn't until 1995, which I was like, holy crap, also a 24 reducing to a 6. So it was like a whole twin cycle. Gemini is the energy, that 6th month of the twins. Okay. The 6th card of the major arcana is the lovers. And the only way those energies from past life come back and recycle themselves around is if each person has the body, mind, spirit in their balance, right? Then the energetics are ready to come together. That's how that works. Okay. So maybe there is some kind of communication here. Again, a lot of busy bee energy, but that is quite interesting that just because we started something it didn't go out into the world or didn't come to be until all that 9 years went by, right? And then we have the next cycle. That's crazy. So I don't know if that's going to be playing out for you this week. Let me know, certainly. But with this divine feminine energy, as we go up towards the full moon, that is masculine energy. That is the emperor. The top of the roller coaster, the divine feminine throws her hands up to say we and releases and lets go to come down the other side of that coaster. So this is telling me here that we're going to have our yang or our masculine energy on the table with the divine feminine energy surrounding. Lots of, again, iridescent energy, rainbow-ish even, especially with rainbows being on the Jupiter card of expansion here while we roll the dice. Maybe this is the timing, if we've done the work, right, and haven't fallen into this spiritual narcolepsy where we don't want to do the lesson because it's hard or we don't want to look at those shadows. Well, if we truly want that balance to come back in, especially if it's a partner or another energy, someone we feel a deep soul tie with, that only happens with the divine feminine's energy shifting first. Okay. And I love this mushroom card here underneath there showing up. And look at this bridge of energy. There's that portal. And we have moving from one set of energetics to another with the shift just for April, just because of the month, and the whole vibrational energy moves from a 3 of March into a 4 of April. So maybe establishing some more stability there. Okay, let's see where we go with our deck today. We've got the moon moving into Gemini. And so it's still right now in that Taurus energy. I'm going to pull the last of my earthy energy here this morning with my Tarot de la Luna. There is an extra card in this deck that is special to this deck. So let's see what's on the surface here. So ways in which there's that trine energy of the 3 on either side that I was just talking about of the 6, and another 3 with the 12 hanged man energy. This is my pink card where she hangs from her trapeze at concerts or silks, and she's holding this pink rose. Peg, doesn't the pink rose or pink flowers kept coming up for us. And this is seeing heartbreak or any ways that we've self-sabotaged, because in this 3 of Swords, she's holding the pocket knife and the bluebird of happiness. She has caused this heartbreak within herself. And it's like a little bit of self-sabotage energy here. And now we're seeing that from a 180 perspective, that helped us on our spiritual path, right? Because the 180 of the hanged man is about enlightenment. So heartbreak turning pain into wisdom leads to that spiritual enlightenment. The 9 of Swords energy is something that could have taken us quite a while to resolve or get over, because it affected our self-esteem here. This is a Fabergé egg. That's what I see anyway. And the very first time I saw this deck, this shattered mirror, right? This kind of self-esteem energy being cracked by whatever caused us this heartbreak, kind of not wanting to come out of that Fabergé egg. And I got to learn from Dawn that every Fabergé egg has its own unique way that it gets unlocked and opened. And what does examining those shattered pieces of our mirror images, right? The lover's energy shows us one-to-one relationships that show us our shadow. By doing the work, dun, 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 10 of Pentacles. She is floating here. She's also holding one of the 2 cards in the entire deck that talks about this red thread of destiny. And you can see here this shape of the South Node. Okay. Releasing and letting go of perfection. 10 of Pentacles would be mutable earth energy of Virgo. And we do have Virgo in the South Node right now. So what do we need to release and let go of that our past might be holding us back on, that has to do with self-esteem? Okay. That was really a thank you teacher, because it led to my best and highest good, 10 of Pentacles, the pinnacle of Pentacles. That encompasses the 10 of cups and all the other energies. Okay. So this is for our benefit. There's the 5 of cups, releasing any regret about ships that have set sail, maybe passed us by due to our own tendencies to self-sabotage that we couldn't see at the time, were self-sabotage because we weren't awake yet, right? We were in that was buried in our subconscious, those tendencies. So let's see what's happening here with this 5 of cups, 8 of wands, communication. As far as spiritual enlightenment as well. Our guides are shown to us when we transmute and process this pain and not just kind of pull up all that pain in this still water. We want to get that water flowing again. Better late than never. That's right, Miss Judy Jude. Absolutely. That is totally right. It's it's real. We can stay in this cave of just reminiscing and yesteryear and looking back at something that is long dead. And we're like, holy crap, it's been holding me back for how long? I've got to grieve that old life. Do I want to stay in this cave? 2 of wands, it's a choice of action. Or do I want to turn around and face that full light of the moon and see what's really hidden there in my psyche? So I feel like this is about a lot of people, waking up. Another 2, choosing our own happiness and our sunshine rather than saving yet another wounded bird, because when we save other people, okay, we've all done it, especially if you're a feeler, you're an empath. That's part of the biggest lesson is we do this, yes, out of compassion of our heart, but the fallback of that, okay, but the price, the consequence of that is delaying our own work. So then see we become conscious that, whoa, perhaps I was doing this over and over again in my life to keep me busy from heading into my own happiness, right? And doing my own self work because it's easier to face helping someone else because that feels good. We feel needed. But what we don't realize is we can only lead the horse to water. It's not our job to drag them along to our happiness. It's our job as yin to head towards that happiness, and that energetic shift is then what wakes up the masculine energy. Wow. That was a whole ass story, right? And it's too early. It's too early, spirit. It's too early for all that. Oh boy. King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, Taurus moon here. Again, energy of the Hierophant of our number of the day. Peace be with you. How can we locate that inner peace? All right. Do, and yada, 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 right? La, la, la. Don't want to hear it. I think we're hearing it now. Standing our ground, taking the high road. Doesn't she look like Jennifer Love Hewitt? Standing our ground against, those energies or our habits is what it feels like of the past, because at the top of the mountain, we can see that now. It's the aha moment. The aha moment of our Page of Cups. You can see she is not at all a child here. She is the energy of the siren, who normally, when we saw in that Two of Swords, lures the crewmen to their depths with their voice, calling them to the bottom of the ocean, right? We're seeing how we have kind of looked at our past and see all these skulls down here, instead of gazing at that Two of Wands like she was staying stuck in the cave, not facing her moon. This is an energy of a more mature page who is looking at all the skulls she has collected and how those energies have been lured or pulled in by her own energy. She's the common denominator. So in this Page of Cups, she's not luring that sailor to the depths, okay, to his death so that she can save him. She's looking back at, you know what? I don't want any more broken winged people. I don't need to do that. If I fix and heal myself, then I'm not going to feel that that is such a draw for me. I'm not going to feel compelled to help the other person or people before helping myself, therefore pouring from an empty cup. Wow. Because wow, guys, Knight of Cups, because I understand that my frequency is of the utmost importance. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face every day, 1,000 times. Energy first is the only way that energetically attracts what it is that we do want. A balanced heart attracts balanced hearts. You're not even going to be presented with the broken wing sailors anymore, those broken people who don't know how to examine their own truth. And this Ace of Swords following that whole Shamil Shamazel, Haagen-Dazs Incorporated, Ace of Swords is like, yep, that's right. Listen to Ange. Okay, then. Rightio. Let's keep going. All right, who we speaking for today? Maybe this is someone you know or someone that you pass this message on to. Let's see. Okay, this is all about the loves. There's a reason I got hearts all over my sketches today. And when I wrote down the 6 to 6, the recording versus the whole 9-year cycle later, the whole twin cycle, and I wrote KISS, and that's keep it simple, sis. So anytime we have that busy bee mental energy, we want to come back to keeping it simple. Speaking of sis, this looks almost, when I first got this deck, I sent it to my sister Ryan, and it was like, this looks a lot like her. She is a professional ballerina. She teaches to this day. And we see this goose here flying the coop. This is the energy of the black swan. She has toiled, putting in blood, sweat, and tears. If you've ever known anybody that dances, especially ballet, it's so rigorous. It tears your body up. It takes a lot of dedication, strong will, stamina, and this is opening night. So 7 of Pentacles is normally a waiting energy, all the labor of planting those seeds. So this is someone who is ready for their opening night. It's like, check the box, Ange, I get the lesson, and I'm ready for my debut. I'm ready to show this hard work, even though I'm a little bit tattered and torn from the experience. I'm ready to perform. I'm ready to step onto the stage of my life. Now, if there's anything left that the eclipse, that Aries eclipse has not yet burned up, remember the energetics of the moon can play out for 6 months. So if anybody dragging out that cycle of balance with the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, I keep saying it. I don't want you to get whooped by this. 10 of Wands in reverse can be like, but I like the work. I like the hard, right. I like the hard toil and labor of this. This is hanging on to doing that hard work instead of keeping your eye on the prize that you've already been through this. It's 10 is to set it down. 9 is the end. 9 of Wands is, am I going to repeat the cycle again of continuing the same actions but expecting a different result? Or am I going to keep my eye on the prize because I've done the heavy lifting and all I need to do now is set it down so that this can turn into my Ace of Wands? So whatever is being clinged to, again, a little bit of martyr energy, like I've got to save that sailor. I can't go to my own happiness because excuse, 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 excuse. We make that shiz up, guys, because we feel like it keeps us safe, and really that's a subconscious sabotage on our own growth. Into the 6 of balance. 3 of pentacles, what I say, each side, body, mind, spirit, has to be balanced on each side for that 6 to come through. So with this being a 9-year, maybe this is the time that that comes through. Okay. Oh my gosh. It was like I told you the first time. Here we go. All right, got it. We got our theme here. So this is your energy, and look at that. Anything that comes out from the pre-shuffle into the main read, we want to pay extra special attention to. Scoot you guys over here. So this would be y'all getting ready for your stage debut. The situation is the way in which I've handled that trine energy of heartbreak and how it's affected my own body, mind, and spirit and tore me up. And the opportunity here is to blow up the ways we've convinced ourselves, words, swords, the Page of Swords energy with that little bit of the tower that I just talked about, 6 months to play out. Let's not continue to play out that pain. Let's blow up that mindset of I have to. I have to take care of this person, or they can't get along without me. Yeah, they can. Okay, unless they are completely helpless, there's also ways in which we can pull in other energies and find new solutions to old problems. So this is blowing up the mindset that I have to keep just killing myself here, especially in regards to anything that breaks our heart. That can be anything. 5 of Swords, more self sabotage. So this is gaslighting our own selves. Again, I want us to blow up this mindset of the have tos. And for whoever this reading is for, you're doing that. The hard work is over. You've just got to decide, am I setting down that 10 of Wands, or have I develop this? That again, it's that heavy martyr energy. That's an identity for someone. Okay, this could be someone you know as well, that this is it's just what I have to do. Wow. Energy's coming back here. 33, like I showed in that transformation of the Pluto degrees, spiritual enlightenment. Into brings the 10 of Pentacles. It's the red thread of destiny. And we have to get to that by blowing up that old mindset, guys. See how that's forming this trine energy here? That's how it's speaking. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like button. In the block position, this would be reversed energy of the Knight of Cups. That would be our own self-sabotage, the have-tos, playing stupid games, getting stupid prizes because of it, repetitive. It's nothing's ever turning out good, right? Well, when we say that, we're continuing the energy because negativity feeds itself. It's multiplication versus the addition of raising our vibration. So it takes a lot longer to change this if we're in this state and sending out the frequencies of shoulds and have tos and focusing on what I don't like and why I can't do something. If you're saying that you can't, then if that's our mindset, then that's how it plays out. So it's a change, blowing up the mindset. What spirit wants you to know is you're already ready. You're ready to go here. You're ready to go up the steps. You're beautiful, dressed for the ball. There's that full moon energy that we weren't wanting to look at the full moon before in that 2 of Wands cave, examining those old skeletons, right? Hanging on or clinging on to an old way or an ideal of a person. Okay. And it's time to go. The time is of the essence, right? And wow, 9 of Wands. So the outcome here is going to be up to you. So the opportunity is to blow up this mindset because this cycle's being presented again. I'm talking about this 19 of cycles for a reason. Okay. Can we shift it into the energy of surrender? And as we come up to the full moon, that's the work here, releasing and letting go of this creation, right? This identity we've created of the savior. I have to save them, but it's at the expense of our own heart. And it's time to make a different decision in the 3D pentacles: time, energy, money, resources. So here comes the test. I feel like there's another wounded bird coming your way, or the same recycled bird. Hierophant energy, energy of today. This is a huge lesson. Peace be with you. Because this is a chance here to prioritize your own heart's energetics so that what you're putting out will then start to come back to you. When the things that come back to you are less than desirable, energy first. That's it. Our own. That's the only thing we can control. Knight of Wands, I like that. There's that energy of being pulled towards the sun with our passion. I know it's time to leave this. And this has given me a little bit of yin and yang vibes here because there's so much light. And then in juxtaposition to the darkness here with that little bit of light shining through. Okay. And changing into our sparkles, moving from our black dress into this red. I have arrived, burning up the old way. We are blowing this mindset up. Therefore, we can blow up this old repetitive pattern here. We are not picking up that 9 of Wands cycle again. It's up to you. Of course, we have free will. It's your own choice, but we have been forewarned here. Yep, that's the truth. Temperance energy as well. Look at that, how they showed up, you guys. That's crazy. Our outcome energy is to learn from this fragmented sense of self that we saw in the 9 of Swords, using that energy. See the light coming in? It's the same broken compact, except now it's temperance energy, and we've alchemized lead into gold, turned that pain into wisdom. Climbing the stairway to heaven means setting down those 10 wands so that our hermit energy on the inside, we're in a 9-year, can reflect and make a different choice. This is healing. This is patience. This is pouring into our own heart's cup first, and then this overflowing, this opening of this lotus can unfold one petal at a time, and we become the guru, the shaman, the guide that then helps others due to the heart of the reading being spiritual enlightenment of the Hanged Man, 33. And making a different choice this time, going up the stairs. This is not the first chance we've had to do this, it feels like, if this reading is for you or somebody you know today. Yep. And look what happens when we do. Then comes the balance. It's saying exactly what I'm talking about here perfectly. There's this truth coming in about our own balance, the patience of the healing. This is a soulmate card. Archangel Michael's in charge of the soulmate journey. And it's due to our own learning of the lesson first. Shift of the yin, then brings the shift of the yang. Wow. Look at this, you guys. Today's sun lesson: an unsuccessful bomb explosion. This is not repeating this 9 of Wands again. Do not keep carrying that heavy load. Taking sincere, even if naive, steps towards self-perfection. I mean, I don't see how it could play out any more perfectly. What does Spirit want you to know? Take the steps. Blow up this old mindset. You don't have to pick up the wounds of others, especially if it means our own healing is pushed to the wayside, especially if another energy of learned lesson, the Hierophant here. And this is the Eight of Pentacles. Look at the knowledge she is then sitting on, and it's giving her these wings here. This is a graduation of this energy. Boy, I'm happy to see that. A graduation of, now we're in the upright, setting down those 10 wands, letting whatever needs burned up in the past, let it go. Transmute the pain. Woohoo! Into our Nine of Pentacles, which is our lower octave Empress energy. This is the step before going into the ball, before she, gets seen at the ball by the prince here. You got to go into the ball to get seen. And look at that. Feeling good. Nina Simone energy, kicking it. And the past, letting that transition happen. What we are ending is this gaslighting of our own self, the dreaded shoulds. Balancing King Cups, balancing our heart and our head, because the soul drives the chariot. That's fueling our spiritual enlightenment. Wow, wow, wow. Tower energy in the near future. We are blowing up this mindset. Again, the opportunity is coming for us to either go back down that same cycle and repeat it, or go up the stairs into a whole new world. Wow, wow, wow. Hermit energy here in the blocked position in reverse. Everything's upright in my deck, so pay attention to those reversals. That would then technically throw this in the upright. 10 of Wands and the Hermit in the same spread for me is literally flipping Stairway to Heaven energy. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen, so we can get here, releasing that South Node. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen, this truth. And this is incredible. What Spirit wants you to know on the yin energy on this side of the board, you are taking this leap of faith into this new, this ball, that you're going to be the belle of the ball. Stella getting her groove back, early energy here. Nine of Pentacles, also Virgo energy. And there's us stepping into our truth. This is a feminine King of Swords. Aquarius energy, talked about Pluto, the planet of transformation. Wow. Flooding in of emotions. There's that full light of the moon once again. Ace of Pentacles, that is the 3D tangibleness of wherever our Knight of Wands is leading us toward that passion. Okay, don't hold back on our own peace. We won't hold back on our own peace, because the King of Swords seeks the truth. He is the truth, and he will have nothing but the truth. This is this energy being faced. Speaking of Stella, we got our Queen of Wands fueling this queendom energy. This is Isis. These are Isis wings, rather. I used to perform with those. I prefer a veil. The stick wands aren't as fun, I don't think, to play with. You can't do as much. But anyway, Six of Swords, allowing Spirit to pull us and carry us to those calmer waters, out of this apathetic, yeah, I'm upset about it, but I'm not sharing my emotions with anyone. Well, they're coming out. And what I say, the only two cards in this entire deck, near future, for whoever this energy is, whoever is about to step into the ultimate performance of their life, this is the moment when everything changes, when we make a different choice. and we step into the lens of peace. Peace be with you. I understand this lesson, and it literally changes the wheel of fate and our destiny. Just wow. Can't make it up. We cannot make it up. Let's get some advice for this Seven of Pentacles person here. Let me know if you feel like you are stepping. Oh, that's interesting. Look at this little guy hiding. Yep. The right use of power. No more head games, especially if this is a person here that is causing, or the person that we continue to look at inside that Two of Wands cave, instead of stepping into the truth of our moon about what is best for us. We saw that yesterday. I feel like you're winning this time. I feel like you're doing it this time. All right, advice for whose story this is. And thank you again if it's not your story, and I hope you still enjoyed it. Does we have a flipper here? Oh boy, another rogue. Stop it. The Two of Wands, where she was in the cave. And this is I guess dinner ain't going to make itself. And this is the person I'm talking about here, the lazy lion, the person who won't hunt, the person who won't learn their lessons. Stop saving them. Okay, because I don't think we get that we can experience karmic repercussions for trying to save them, because they have their own lesson to learn. And if we keep interfering with them learning, if we are overgiving, right, or sheltering them from having to go through the toughness of life, even with children, right, we are robbing them of the experience of that conquer. Okay. She should be making his ass go hunt his own damn food. But she's going, I guess I got to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. Choose a different choice. Let's get out of that cave, look directly at our moon, and not be afraid of it. That's there for a reason. These got stuck in here from yesterday. They must have, because it ties to yesterday. Ancestral wisdom. We do see that cardinal sitting here trying to show us this lesson, like, hey, this is blocking your own movement forward. Get out of that cave. Okay, it is not our job. Okay, antelope spirit, speaking of ancestors, and there's another Two of Pentacles, Two of Wands twice. There's our 24 that we recorded, 1986 and 1985, both added up to 24s that further reduced to a 6. Something that was released this cycle is coming to a close, guys. No more of it. No freaking more. Bottom of the deck, there's our frog clearing out the clutter. I was talking about the feng shui energy of helping energy move. And also, instead of cycles of the 19, I'm a 28 one path. 2 and an 8 is a 10 of the Wheel of Fortune. And the 1 of the Magician, all 4 aces of potential. So now we have this showing up twice with our 19 and with our 28. There's a reason I talk about weird crap, guys. I mean, it comes out in the wash somehow. Me too, Judy. The whenever moon is in Taurus, for me, I'm just like, bring me the food, bring me the wine. I just want to indulge in my foodiness, taste nice things, and lounge and relax. But I have been unable to do that. So we gotta go, go, go. You've even gone home a whole entire month. Woo! How to make this change? Again, energy first. It just, even if it's just music, getting our body moving, everything, there's going to be different things that work for different people. It's just about a vibrational raise. What brings you joy? Make a list. It's the simple things, right? And then pick one of those things to do. I'm going to go do that next. Allow your body then to follow through, because we're so used to the dreaded shoulds that we lose touch with what does actually bring us joy. So, Judy Jude, I'm going to challenge you to make a list, and maybe we'll make that into a fun arts and crafts day where we can all kind of make little drawings or sketches of what brings us joy. Even if you make little suns and then put one word inside of that, close your eyes and roll a dice, throw a coin, wherever it lands, that's the joyful thing that you're going to do that day. It might be putting on an old album that you haven't listened to in a while. It might be, with the moon and Gemini, socialization, calling up that old friend we've been meaning to get around to talking to, somebody on our must call list, right? Might be, going to a service and singing in the choir, whatever brings us joy. Just that. That's it. Just step into that joy, honey. We lose track even of what that is. So make sure we even know what it is. So that will be a great journaling prompt for today. Have I lost touch with that? Am I so used to the hard work? Am I so used to stabbing my own self in the heart because I don't prioritize myself? And therefore, the frequency that I emit, right, is not a great one. So then more of that energy gets attracted to me. More of this comes. So what we need to do, it's on the table, and getting back in touch with the own vibrations of our own heart. That's where this is key. Life is speeding up. Absolutely. I do feel that. Electrical eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. And even if it's just, I'm going to pick one room or one corner of a room, and I'm going to make my way through that stuff so that I can increase the vibrational frequency of my own home. So the feng shui of that energy flows better. Then there it is, right? Have that list handy. What brings you joy? And maybe we haven't asked ourselves that in a long time. And that's what we need to help break up this old way of thinking. Okay, guys. Well, best of luck to you today. Again, happy April 1st and new month, new energy. It may feel like a busy bee day today, a lot of mental energy, but let's not forget to bring ourselves some joy today as well. Okay, we're releasing this South Node energy, and we're not letting our past actions that have been on repeat drag us down and hold us back any longer, because we see the truth of that. Many blessings and much love to you. You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you too. You're so welcome, guys. I love you so much. Much love from my heart to yours. And bye bye until next time. See ya.